Be Nice Individuals Podcast. Hey folks, this is Thaddeus. I'm in the Flagler Voice Podcast Studio, where I am hosting the Be Nice Individuals Podcast, and I have Leo. I have Leo. Like, I was thinking about it for a second. I was like, Leo the Lion. Leo the Lion.
There you go.
From Goretti Mortgage Team. Leo, how are you today, brother?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So we were actually just talking, and just briefly, you were getting excited because of something I brought up, and I just saw the news, and maybe you knew about this before because you're in the industry, but I saw the rates. The feds are saying something about dropping the rates, and you've been in mortgages. That's huge. Let's talk about that.
Well, for a while, the feds have been taking what we call it a hawkish position with quantitative tightening and increasing interest rates at a rapid pace, and is because of inflation.
Yeah.
Inflation now has been coming down, and it's gradually coming down.
Mm-hmm.
And due to the reports of the unemployment reports, the feds now have no choice but to cut rates. Otherwise, if they continue with the policies, the economic policies that they have currently, we're going to get into a recession. So they have no choice but to cut rate. The magic question is how much. They can cut, 25 bips, 25 base points, 50 base points, or 75 base points, which is 0.75%. Mm-hmm. So that's a mystery. We're going to find out next month. The magic date, I believe, is September 18. That's when Jerome Powell will give the press conference of their meeting, and I'm excited to hear about it because even though that's the interest rate for the Fed is not really a mortgage rate, because mortgage rates is that it's correlated with mortgage bonds. It will help mortgage bonds, and the interest rates finally we're going to start coming down, and that would be good. We'll be pretty busy with refinances because I've been telling all my clients that that came over to me buying a house that says marry your home and date your loan.
I just heard that this week. Marry your home, date your loan, but it's like right now, and I've talked to a number of different realtors and mortgage professionals just in my travels, and they were encouraging people still to go ahead and buy.
Absolutely. I mean, home appreciation is at the all-time high. And what happened is people don't realize is since 2006, when the housing market crashed, builders were not confident enough to maintain the pace that they were building homes until that time. So there's a huge reduction of home builds from 2006 until now. And you got to take in consideration that, you have it's generational, and you have a whole generation now entering the market to buy a home. So with that being said, we are, I believe now, we are in August, let's say, I believe in first quarter of this year, we were like 1.5 million homes short in the entire country.
Oh, really?
And that's high demand for properties, low inventory, cause houses to appreciate.
Yeah. So that was something I kind of dealt with when I moved here. People were just, is that the same thing that happened with people not really caring about, having it meet the appraisal and stuff, they overpaying, and also like not getting the inspections done, like whatever
Yeah, October, it was actually October 2022. People were paying 30,000, overpriced, over asking price.
Yeah.
And they didn't care. I actually, I did a course that Certified Mortgage Advisor, which I give I can tell my clients if they're overpaying above listing price, asking price, how long it will take for them to break even on that overpaying. But it's not too long. It's pretty fast because home appreciation is at all-time, high.
Yeah.
which is kind of to me, is a sort of two edges. It's great. People are getting a lot of equity on their home. In a situation, in a tough economic situation, they can tap into their equity, to debt consolidation and so on and so forth. But on the other hand, with price of homes going up, and until the Fed's now decided to cut rate with this policy of a higher rate, the first-time home buyer, is suffering with that because, a lot of people with the high prices of the home and high interest rates, they pretty much don't qualify.
Okay, so they're out of the market.
They're out of the market. So they'll need, a relative or someone to go on a note with them to make sure that, and in most cases, I do that too, and then since you're going to marry your home and date your loan, as the interest rates go down and we refinance, then we can take that person out of the loan, that we call a non-occupant co-borrower, just came in to help that first-time home buyer buy a home. Yeah. Then they can come out of the loan on a refinance.
Yeah. So you're about to get busy. So you're about to get busy because, not only are you going to be doing refis, but people that couldn't afford a home, now they're going to be able to afford a home. Maybe we'll see another influx of people coming to Florida because Florida, I don't know if it was COVID or if it started before COVID, but there was a huge influx in the amount of people coming here, and it's still been continuing, but I assume that this rate cut will further that.
Well, absolutely. There's a lot of people on the fence right now. I mean, I have a board with names of pre-approvals done that people haven't, done anything. They haven't done anything for 60 and 90 days. And there's two aspects of it. One of them is they're waiting for the rates to be lower, which I tell them don't wait because you're going to end up paying more for the house. Your $300,000 home that you think of, 3 months ago is not the same $300,000 home that you're going to buy it today.
Yeah.
But they want to wait. And also there is the geopolitical aspect that's election year.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to see what's going on. It's like, what's going to happen here?
Yeah.
So a lot of people on the fence. But definitely next month with the Feds cutting the Fed's rate, that's going to help, and it's going to be refinance boom. And a lot of people, you're right, absolutely. A lot of people moving to Florida again. And just to give it, a perspective on prior to COVID, majority of my clients were coming to Florida were from Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, Massachusetts. COVID hit, and after COVID, my whole clientele changed. Then I had people from Oregon, people from Seattle, people from California. There were some of them literally abandoning their business. They're business owners. And saying, no, I can't do this anymore. Here is too crazy. I'm moving to Florida. And it was very interesting. The dynamics of clientele completely changed after COVID.
Yeah, no, I remember a lot of people moving to Florida just because it was more liberties, we might say, as far as businesses being able to operate and things along those lines. And I came from St. Louis actually during COVID, but it wasn't because of COVID. I was just relocating to be closer to my wife's family. And it was like coming to a different world. I'm like, this is weird. Like, what is this? But yeah. So I want to kind of switch though to talk more about your company because I know the interest rates are cool and everybody's getting excited. And those people that bought with a higher interest rates, they're going to save some money. But let's talk about your mortgage company. Tell me more about it. Tell me how it started. Tell me kind of the impact that you guys are having.
Well, one of the things that, you see on my logo, it's like it's making a difference.
Yeah.
To me, that's very important. Buying a home is the largest purchase you're going to do in your life.
Yeah.
Unless you're buying a business, that's a different story. That's going to be, But buying a home, it's very, it's cumbersome, and you got to really think about this and make a difference. I'm going to tell you that, and I tell my clients all the time, I'm no Bill Gates, I'm no Warren Buffett, but I don't chase a paycheck. I'm there to make a difference. I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
Dealing with people, it's something that's great. And, as I started working with my father at the age 12, he told me something that I took to heart and made me who I am today. What he said was, a man's legacy is not what you achieve for yourself, is how many lives you have touched in a positive way.
Oh, that's beautiful.
People are not going to remember you for the car you have. People are not going to remember you for the house you have. People are going to remember you on how you impact their lives. So, taking that into heart, I came up with making a difference in the mortgage business, because before 2006, okay, anybody with a pulse and a 600 credit score, they were getting the mortgage.
Do the breath test on the mirror.
You're alive. Pick your payment.
Yeah.
And there was negative amortization. They were doing all kinds of crazy stuff. At the time, I was working actually for a local bank, a local community bank here, and we didn't take the risks of those mortgages.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we didn't need any bailout money, anything like that. And what drove me insane was the media always says the banks, you put everybody in the same pot.
Sure.
But we didn't do that.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about community bank, because we not only didn't take those risks, looking on the other side, those people, the people that we did mortgages to, they didn't lose their home, because we did mortgages knowing that they would be able to repay it.
Yeah.
So mortgage became very complicated. Government got in, it got regulated. We had Dodd-Frank Act, which has regulated the entire banking industry. In addition to that, mortgage got highly regulated, which I believe we are one of the highest regulated industry in the country.
Yeah.
Which understandably so. I think they went a little bit overboard. They could have a middle way. But by making a difference, what I'm doing currently is I come short of making my clients a loan officer. I like transparency. So I'm going to tell them what I'm looking for, how I'm approving them, all the requirements that they're meeting, so they understand.
Yeah.
When I first bought a house here in this country, I came here into this country in 1991 from Brazil, from Rio, Brazil. So I bought my house, and my loan officer at the time was a bank. They never took the time to explain anything to me. All I said was, give me the lowest interest rate you can give me.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me. Okay. Yeah. I got out of there the happiest man alive. But knowing what I know today, at the time I paid like 2.5 points for my interest rate, but I didn't even know what the points were.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't stay long enough on that home that I purchased to take advantage of those 2.5 points that I paid.
Okay.
So I basically threw money away.
Yeah.
But if I had been educated on that, I would have done that. Sometimes the best rate is, the lowest rate is not the best option for you, because we're going to look into how long you're planning to stay on this home.
Yeah.
The national average of someone staying on the same home is about 7 years.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got to take that in consideration. So I like transparency. I like to educating my clients throughout the whole process, and from application to closing, I follow my clients. I met at the closing table with them to make sure the process goes smooth all the way to the end. After closing, I'm still, holding hands with the same client, making sure if they're buying a primary residence that they're filing for homestead exemption. And with all this white glove treatment that I'm giving them, they become friends.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. I mean, people come to my office sometimes, it's like, Leo, I don't need a mortgage, but can you recommend someone, an electrician or a plumber, or, because they trust me.
Nice.
So if they know if I'm going to refer someone, it's going to be someone that they can trust as well.
Nice. I love that idea of transparency. It's so important in business. who do you trust? Who do you want to do business with? I feel like that's more important. It should be more important than even price, because when you're getting to some type of business relationship, in this specific case, a mortgage, that's a long-term commitment of sorts. And if some mortgage professional left some things out, perhaps didn't give you everything that you needed to know, like, for instance, homestead exemption, that's huge, so that the person knows that they need to go ahead and file that so that they can save money.
A lot of people from New Jersey, for example, they don't even know what homestead exemption is.
Yeah.
Because they don't have it in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So they come here and it's like, Leo, what's homestead exemption? What are you talking about? It's like, well, if you live in Florida, you get a break. This is your house. You're going to spend money here. You're going to live here, so you get a tax break on your property. It's like, wow. Yeah, and there's not only homestead exemption. If there's a widow exemption. There's a veterans disability exemption. There's all the exemptions that we have, that makes more affordable.
Yeah.
Hence, everybody's moving to Florida.
That is true. That is true. And so it makes the Florida area just more in demand. Well, I mean, you did obviously have the more open society during COVID, but just the tax breaks and there's no state tax and all that definitely doesn't hurt. We'll say.
Let's put it this way. I'm licensed in Virginia, Florida, South Carolina, and Tennessee. Tennessee is another state that's booming too. The three states, the fastest growing states in the country right now is Texas, Tennessee, and Florida. Migration to those those states are pretty big. So, but Florida, to me, I mean, in our area here in Flagler County, I came here in 2004. We're a little town. And I don't even know
anymore.
But the beauty of it, and I love Palm Coast, been here, like I said, since 2004, is despite the fact that we got bigger, we still have that
small town feel. Yeah, no, I feel you.
That's huge. I founded a soccer club here for kids in 2006 as well with the at the time now late Frank Meeker, who was a county commissioner, and we made a difference with some of those kids too. I was a banker here, 2006, and got to know a lot of people, and it was great. And here's the beauty of it, just to give you an idea, and I'm going to tell you that, when I tell you that people that chase paycheck, if they're chasing a paycheck, they're in the wrong industry.
Sure.
When I left the bank to start my mortgage company, I put a little advertisement on a local newspaper here, and just to let them know where I was. So my clients from the bank came to my office. It's like, what did you do? What am I going to do now? Why did you do? Where am I going to put my money? It's like, I can't. I'm not a bank. I cannot keep your money. I can't help you with the refinance or buying a home. But and there's no money in the world that's more gratifying than those people that came to my office. Just thinking about thinking of me, and it's like, where should I bank now? Tell me.
They want to follow you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was huge to me. That's you do the right thing, you can be more successful than playing numbers and doing wrong things.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Especially in a town like this. So I came from St. Louis, which is much bigger than this. St. Louis, a company can probably skate under the radar for a long time if they're doing practices that are less than ethical. But here, it's a small town, and word of mouth is huge. Referrals are huge, and you live and die by those.
Exactly. I spend very little in advertising. At one point, I was spending, very small amount of dollar at the Portuguese American Club because I do speak Portuguese as well.
Yeah.
I do speak Portuguese, Italian, Spanish.
Nice.
a little bit of French,
Yeah. Well,
and a little bit of English. So, and the Portuguese community here is huge, and they prefer, obviously dealing with someone that speak their language.
yeah.
So, that was an advantage I had, over my competition, because not a lot of people speak multiple languages. But
Sure.
Yes, you do the right thing, everybody talks. It took me 2 years to get a solid referral base from my previous clients, from my referral partners, to establish that trust.
Yeah.
Now it's just running on its own.
Nice.
I don't have to do, I don't have to be chasing, advertising and stuff like that. It's just running on its own. I'm a strong believer that, there's a lot of loan officers out there, branch managers, loan officers like myself, that they're trying to hug the world with their legs, and they're trying to, doing an average, for example, the top producer on company right now did 16 million in 1 month.
Wow.
But he has a whole entire team. He has loan assistants. He has processors. He has a whole entire team behind him.
Yeah.
Where I rely on corporate to do, and I don't want to do, that huge amount.
Yeah, yeah.
I really don't. I rather stay small, providing quality over quantity. That's my main goal. I want my clients satisfied, happy, that they know what they did, because if I don't educate my client and make transparent my process, later down the road, they might gonna run into somebody and is gonna say, well, you paid too much. You did, the guy did this wrong for you.
Yeah.
And if they're not educated to understand what I did, they're going to say, no, you're wrong. This is because of this and this and this. My loan officer told me exactly, went over every little fee that we had. We went over every, the cost of waiting. We went over, the best options for me.
Yeah.
Based on my.
So is that personal touch?
Exactly.
You like going back, you were talking about the white glove service and just being there to lead them through the steps, telling them about such things like the homestead exemption, even the widow's exemption, veterans exemption, but just being there. And the larger you get, you lose some of that personal touch, I imagine.
Exactly. If you start trying to do numbers, banks, and that's the reason why I left the banks.
Yeah.
Banks is all about numbers. A community bank, the community bank that I work for, they allow us to give you a personal touch, but it's still also about the numbers.
Sure.
You have to be profitable to stay in business.
Yeah.
Not that I'm not profitable, but I seek more of happiness to my clients, and satisfaction from them than, trying to, okay, I did $16 million in 1 month.
Sure.
Okay, money comes and goes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and this is something, I believe in capitalism.
Yeah.
I do. That's the reason why I came to the United States.
Yeah.
Capitalism works without greed.
I see. Yeah.
So you do the right thing, no greed, make your clients happy, success comes to you.
I love that. Any closing remarks that you might have to reach out to your audience and people that are following you as we wrap up here today?
Well, I'm Leo Goretti, here at the Goretti Mortgage Team. If you want someone that's going to educate you and be transparent on the largest purchase that you're going to do, or the refinance that you need to do for home improvement or debt consolidation, or whatever the case may be, come and see me, and I'll be glad to help. Which, by the way, if you said you're from St. Louis, First Integrity Mortgage is actually based in St. Louis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Small world.
Yeah.
Well, hey, folks, make sure you reach out to Leo with Goretti Mortgage Team. He has that personal touch, that white glove service to make sure that you're taken care of during the whole process, but also the transparency, which is really, really, really important in not only his industry, but my industry and pretty much any industry around. Because remember, this is a small town still. And, you know, word of mouth is super important. And if you do right comes back to you. It's like you reap what you sow. Again, this has been Thaddeus on the Be Nice Individuals podcast, which is hosted here at the Flagler Voice Podcast Studio. Again, folks, this studio is for rent. You can come in here, shout out your business, your ideas. Maybe you're a political candidate and you want to reach your constituents. We can take care of that for you. We'll see you next time.